We've got water on the property now, running water, and I just want to show you what our sprinkler looks like when it's running. Look at that. No pumps, just gravity. So one of my favorite parts of living off grid, look at I grab a spade. One of my favorite parts of living off grid isn't really an off grid thing. It's just having land and being able to enjoy what grows on the land. I am absolutely thrilled to go foraging as much as I can. I love foraging. Most of my property is pretty darn sloped, which I like. It kind of keeps us above the town that we're situated over. So there are two things that I'm going to be foraging today. One that I've foraged many times and I absolutely enjoy, and we're eating for supper tonight, is called false Solomon seal. False Solomon seal is also the Russians out here have a name for it. I think it's Suzuku. I can't quite recall. Anyway, we're gonna be getting that, and we're actually gonna eat it tonight, and I'll show you what that looks like when I make supper. But the other thing is both a medicinal plant and a edible plant, and apparently before colonization, the native people out here would, it was a staple. This is what sustained them. I've never tried to eat it other than trying to eat the leaves after it's grown up, and not so tasty. It's pretty bitter. I couldn't imagine how to prepare the leaves because it's really super duper bitter. But I'm just rambling until I find a young plant out here. We're going to dig up the roots of the balsam plant, which are prevalent in the Kootenays on dry southern slopes like this beautiful one that I am on right now. And in the Okanagan, there's actually quite a few spots in the Okanagan where you see these beautiful yellow flowers come up, usually around May. And I read today that the best time to pick these, to eat them, is when they're young, and I think I see one right now, right before they pop out of the ground. And you kind of know, you have to kind of know what you're looking for. So this here, oh, you can tell that the deer enjoy it too. So this is balsamroot. So when this grows up, it turns into this beautiful yellow flower, and it's a oh, actually there's the flower right there, but obviously very young. The seeds, this is a relative to the sunflower, and the seeds, it's got little mini sunflower seeds really when you look at it close, and those seeds can be used in cooking, or you can use them in baking. And I'm really not too sure what the medicinal value of the seeds is, but I know that if I dig this up, I'm going to find a root, and that root is what the best food quality of this plant is. So anyway, I'm gonna pause this while I dig. Holy mackerel. Look at that bad boy. That is a really hardy root. I've never eaten this, but I'm very curious to see what that might taste like. Apparently, when you boil it, it turns sweet, and I'm assuming it's gonna be like a potato, maybe. I really have no idea, but that does not look delicious. It feels really woody. Here, I'll get out of the light. It feels really woody. So this will be an experiment today. I'm gonna figure out how it was traditionally prepared, and I'm gonna eat it that way. Like it or love it or hate it, it's what I'm doing. Because this was a food that was cherished in this area yeah, this was a food that was cherished before the white man came with the grocery stores and whatnot. And that kind of stuff I just love. Anyway, I'll try to fix this hole a bit. These salts. There we go. Leave no trace-ish. We'll continue down here to the lower part of my property, down to the cliff. And I've got a secret to show you. Let's may as well get it out in the open right away. It was one of the drawbacks that we have. I'm sure you can hear it in the background right now. Hinto! Shoot, I should have brought some bear spray. This is Cougar Central down here. And Bear Central down here. In the summertime, this is just cougar scat and bear scat everywhere. Come on, boy! Let's go! Spot the dog. There he is. Anyway, when I get lower on the property, so at the bottom of my property, on the other side of the river, is a pulp mill and a lumber mill. And not a really big fan of the sound, but for the price I've paid for my property and the chance I get to live in such a beautiful spot, it's the drawback that I live with, which is no big deal. So at the bottom of this cliff is where the goods are, and I'll take you down there right now. So this, I like to break them at the stalk, because the stalk is what this actually tastes like. Asparagus. It's a cousin of asparagus, and if I pull this off, you can kind of see it's kind of asparagus-y in nature. The important thing to know when you're picking these, and honestly, if you're going to go hunting this, be sure that you know what to look for and what you want to pick and what you don't want to pick. Don't just go by my video here, but I know that inside here there is one single corn. There it is. So let's see if I can get right in there. So there's just one single corn. Alright, can I get it? Is that, can you see that? So on the deadly lookalike, or at least the toxic lookalike, you'll have multiple corns, but they look exactly the same. Not exactly, but to the untrained eye, they look exactly the same. There's some different coloration, and they come up at a bit of a different time in spring. But I know that this is good to eat. And that is so delicious. You couldn't even buy something that tasty. Like, I absolutely love eating fall Solomon seal when it's young like this. But the best way to eat it is throw it in a pan, throw some butter on it, and cook it up that way. And that's probably how we're gonna eat it tonight. But I am going to set the GoPro up at a patch and do some picking so that I can get some food for tonight. So this is an ideal shoot. It's got a big thick stalk to it. That's the stalk is the best part. The leafy part's delicious too, and the corn actually tastes great as well. It's fantastic. I would call this absolute, as far as I'd go, I'll eat this for sure, but I wouldn't pick any more mature than that. That's yeah, that's probably about it. And these turn into huge plants. Down here will be unpassable with all these down here. Like yeah, these turn into gigantic plants. That's cat poop. There's lots of it down here. Luckily for me, that was from a while ago, but there's cat poop, more cat poop. More cat poop. I'm not just gonna show you poop, poop, poop. Another big, beautiful perched boulder. Look at those pretty dogs. Look at this. Some trail snacks. I've never picked from right here before, so let's just make sure. And there we go. A single corn. That's good to go. And there's more of that Arrowleaf Balsam. The deer haven't got into that. Let's try one of these fresh leaves. Yeah. Apparently people eat them like that. Not this guy. Whew. That is absolutely bitter. Come on guys, let's go. Come on. What a nice surprise. Look at that right there. I can almost guarantee you that's the first flowering arrowroot balsam out here. Almost guarantee it.